Hello everyone, Dave Landry here from DaveLandry.com, and this is your Daily 5. I am super excited about stocks. I'm also excited about crypto. Not as excited as I am about stocks right now, but excited nonetheless. If you watched the last Daily 5 that I hosted, you'll see that I was very excited about crypto. But I still think crypto has potential. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. Before we do that, I want to talk about where we are in stocks vis-a-vis the TFM 10% system. I want to talk a little bit about Landry Light, a little bit about BowTie proper order, and I want to show you two setups that I'm long that I think still have potential. So let's talk about the stock market. Where are we now? Let's take a quick look at the TFM 10% system, and then we'll get into Landry Light and BowTie proper order. Now, the premise of this system is once a market drops 10% or more away from its 50-week moving average, bad things tend to happen. You're not guaranteed that bad things will happen, but that's where bad things tend to happen. One of my clients pointed out that once you get past 5% away from that 50-week closing high, you might want to think about getting out. I back-tested that. It does give you a little bit of whipsaw, but it does have merit. When the market begins to weaken, you need to think about getting out. Now, keep in mind that market timing is less about beating the market and more about not letting the market beat you. The occasional 50% haircut is not that uncommon, and you don't want to lose half your money, especially if you're nearing retirement in the stock market. Now, here's the rules. They're real simple. For sell signals, you just want to get out the way at the first signs of adversity, and adversity in this case is defined as a close below the 50-week moving average and a close that is 10% or more away from the 50-week closing high. So as you can see, we had a sell signal not that long ago, and then a few weeks later we had a buy signal. The buy signals are a little bit more stringent, and that's a whipsaw filter to keep you from going in and out too much. With all systems, you will have a little whipsaw. The signal you're looking at right here has a little whipsaw in it. But here's the thing, as Greg Morris says, and I often quote him, whipsaws are frustrating, bear markets are devastating. You can survive frustration. So the buy side rules, again, a little bit more stringent. 2 lows greater than the moving average. You need 2 bars of Landry Light, and then you look to enter on the close at the end of the week when that occurs. So again, we had a sell signal followed by a buy, but that's okay. The last buy signal so far has been okay. Now, if you look at the Qs, the system works fairly well in the Qs too, and I decided on the last signal, just kind of for S&Gs, that I would buy 100 shares, and it turned out so far, at least knock on wood, to be a pretty good trade. Now, one thing I do want to show you, I'm more of a discretionary trader. I have done a lot of mechanical system testing. I used to wake up early and stay up late and do a lot of that. I spent years programming systems. And all of that sort of made me more of a discretionary trader, or that's one thing that encouraged me to become a discretionary trader. But I thought it'd be kind of fun, and I know you're a part of me, just to follow this system mechanically with just a small share size and see how things shake out. And so far, so good. But one thing I do want to show you, that if it stops out by dropping down to that 50-week simple moving average and below the 10% line, then that would be a sell signal, and that's a fairly long ways away. You'd give up about 25% of your profits, and that just comes with the territory of longer-term trend following. Now, in my stock trading, I do take partial profits. I do get in for a swing trade, and then I hold on to the remainder for what hopefully becomes a longer-term position. I'll hold positions for weeks, months, and occasionally even years. All right, let's talk about where we are with Landry Light in the market. Landry Light is simply lows greater than moving average for uptrends and highs less than the moving averages for downtrends. And this is my indicator, which is available in the ACP platform. Just click on this little plugin here to install it. Like this video first, of course. Good is when the lows are greater than the moving average. You can see the market was doing fairly well last summer. One of the best summers I remember. The sell in May and go away crowd, they got decimated, right? Or they certainly missed some opportunity costs. So that's good when you have upside Landry Light. Notice that we had mostly downside Landry Light, which is bad. And notice that the market worked its way lower late last year. Since then, we've obviously had a decent rally. It's been 46 days since we touched the moving average. So far, so good. And you can see in the chart above, the lows have been above the moving average for quite some time. So that is good. Or in Tarzan speak, good. BowTie proper order, another easy way to help keep you on the right side of the markets. The BowTie moving averages are simply a 10 simple moving average, a 20 exponential moving average, and a 30 exponential moving average. When the 10 is greater than 20, 20 is greater than 30, that's uptrend proper order. When just the opposite occurs, when the 10 is less than the 20 and 20 is less than the 30, that's downtrend proper order. If the moving averages are crossing back and forth, then you don't have uptrend or downtrend proper order, and that's illustrated in what I like to call the illustrators below. Again, green, mostly good, kind of like the Landry Light. Red or mostly red, not good, okay? And then notice that we've been green for a long time. The last 40 bars have been in uptrend proper order. Again, the 10 is greater than 20, and the 20 is greater than the 30. And this is a great way to stay on the right side of the market. Now, in the last Euro Daily 5, I said crypto was on fire. Well, not so much anymore, but it's still okay. It's still looking pretty darn good. Here's the thing about crypto. Crypto is going to zero, then it's going to the moon, and then all of a sudden it's going back to zero. And what I'm trying to say is these bull and bear cycles are exacerbated, so you need to pay careful attention. Obviously, you need to use proper money management, easy for me to say, and you need to make sure, of course, with the proper money management, you're taking profits and you're stopping out when it begins to deteriorate. And also, sit on your hands a lot while waiting for the markets to rally. Now, last time I was just buying the pairs that were going up. This time I'm buying more pullbacks, and it's behaving a little bit more like the core methodology. I'm not seeing a whole lot of setups just yet, but there's definitely a renewed interest in Bitcoin. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is going to give promise, maybe false promise, to a lot of the altcoins. And that's where the real money is, in trading those inefficient altcoins. Now, we're not investing in them, we are trading them. And again, like last time, if they're going straight up, you want to just be buying them. If they are not going straight up, then you want to look for those that are set up. Ideally, for me, it would be a pullback. So let's take a look at Landry Light and Bitcoin. As you can see, we had about 70 or so days of upside. Landry Light, the market consolidates. And then now it looks like we're trying to break away from that moving average. A little weakness in here, but for the most part, we're trying to break away. And we have a little bit of Landry Light beginning to develop. By the way, with any indicator, or as I like to call them, illustrator, make sure you're also looking at the chart, because we had lots of green here, but the market did lose a little steam by going sideways. So Bitcoin overall doing pretty good. As I'm recording this, I can hear my computer beeping and going crazy on positions and stuff, because I'm guessing the SEC just released a statement on the spot ETFs. I don't follow the news, but obviously I am affected by the news. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. I think longer term, that is going to be super bullish on Bitcoin. Shorter term, I think we might have a little sell on the news type of action. That's not a technical type of opinion. That's just what I've seen in the markets over the years when it comes to news. All right, let's talk about some individual stocks. And I am long both of these stocks, so I'm definitely putting my money where my mouth is. Again, pretty bullish on crypto, so I think Mara is worth a shot. I'm already long from 25, and you can see this was the entry on my trading service. Entry at 25, stop at 18. This is based on a hypothetical 100K account, although I do take these actual trades. But for legal purposes, everything is for educational purposes. So you can see nice Landry Lights, and of course, always look at the chart. Don't just buy off an indicator. And then you can see a nice little pullback. Not quite a Landry Light pullback, but almost. If it pulls back to the 30 EMA, that would be a Landry Light pullback. In the past, the Landry Light pullbacks, which used to call daylight pullbacks, I used a 20 exponential moving average. You could also use that if you prefer. In just more recent years, I've found that the 30 tends to be a little bit more useful in keeping you on the right side of the market. The entry was here. The stop is here, and the initial profit target is up here. At the initial profit target, we take off half our shares, and then we bump our stop up to break even. So barring overnight gaps, the worst we could do is a scratch on the remainder, and we have the potential for a long-term gain. Here's another one I'm long, RYTM. You can see nice Landry Light there. And of course, always look at the chart. You can see this stock persisted upward, meaning that it tends to go up day after day after day. There was lots of Landry Light, about 30 or 40 days. And then it pulls back in a somewhat orderly fashion to the moving average. So this is again is a Landry Light pullback. There's your parameters down below. Entry of 44, stop of 36, and an IPT of 52. So far, not so good. If you were to take this trade, I would say above this high here would be a good place to enter. So in summary, stocks are still doing really well, and here crypto's doing pretty good. Bitcoin's just off of these multi-year highs. I'd say 47.5, 48 be a good place to get into Bitcoin, and stop yourself out somewhere below that 30 EMA. Take a look at those two setups, one of which is crypto related. If you need to get in touch with me, here's all my contact information. I do answer all my own emails, and I do respond to comments on YouTube. If you're leaving a comment on this stock chart channel, be a little bit more patient because I have to go out and look for those. A better place to leave comments would be at Dave Landry, which would be on my YouTube channel. That's my YouTube channel, is at Dave Landry. All that information is right here. You can follow me on Twitter at tfollowingmoron. I want to thank everybody for watching, and may the trend be with you.